did a massive Google search and targeted everybody, sent blanket emails, and originally I felt like because I'd mentioned the word SEND and disability, I got a lot of unfortunately we're not sure, or I got a lot of just didn't reply, and unfortunately that sort of was the trend. The deeper the dive I did.
What became apparent was, based in Runworth, there isn't a great deal of anything.
It's sometimes easy to find groups, sometimes it's hard to find groups, and it's sometimes in the middle finding groups.
We have found limited provisions out there for our young people, although the ones we found are really positive and are working really hard to offer inclusive sessions and also SEND specific sessions. So whilst we're integrating with the mainstream sessions, recognising that actually sometimes our young people, you know, prefer the knowledge, certainly their parents and carers sometimes prefer the knowledge that you are understanding and aware. I'm very much aware of what my child and young person needs.
Going into the proper seniors club, that can be very hard. They could be a bit rough, could not make friends with me.
Sometimes it's daunting for teenagers to attend groups. I mean, I've got a 13-year-old that's sat in the office now because there's too many people in that room.
My brother, who has autism and he's non-verbal, and in the future I'd like to see more one-to-one carers, especially with Max.
Well, I have a 19-year-old, undiagnosed, but didn't really get much support with his mental health. He's still struggling now, to be fair. He's out of work. Struggles with the barrier of starting work. I've also got a 16-year-old that's about to finish school. It's been difficult. I mean, doesn't like attending school, so he's not going to attend college. We chose a different college for him though, so hopefully a bit more support than his older brother.
Especially as going from high school to college, I feel like there's not a lot of advice in what you do in that transition, and then I feel like moving forward from that, it's how do you pay your bills and buy houses and stuff like that. I feel like you just don't really have a clue.
So as well as there being quite limited resources and limited provision for our young people with SEND, that isn't just the actual building of having somewhere to go, it's also including transport, so getting to and from a session. So even though we're Bolton Town Centre, we're quite a drive away from somewhere like Farnworth. Logistically, there are a lot of other barriers to being able to access a session.
There's some fantastic services in Bolton that cover the Runworth area, so it's not that they're without services. But the real sort of beating heart of it is Runworth School, which is a SEND provision school from year 11 to year 14. It has its own sixth form, and then it also has 19 to 35 services following on with that.
Runworth, they look at the skills of the child rather than necessarily the academic boxes that other schools want to take. And they look at what suits each individual child. They've
got everything from a hydrotherapy pool, they've got a forest school, they've got some fantastic outdoor areas, they've got a big horticulture centre, they've got an outside sport mugger. They have based within them a scout group that is just for young people with SEND. They're just about to double in size and are hoping to be able to include young people from outside of the school. The sad thing is those resources are not available to the community, and I think it would be so positive for a lot of the families who have children and young people with SEND who are in mainstream schools to be able to access that community and that amount of information.
So Bolton Trampoline Club applied for some funding from us through Bolton Together, and we're successful in that. They're going to soon be able to offer rebound therapy bouncing, and we're also awarded some funding towards a hoist to help obviously move and handle the young people up onto the trampolines. We also were able to distribute a number of sensory sets, which included dark tents, lights, aromatherapy sets, lots of sensory toys, which hopefully are going to make a massive difference in the community.
It's far too easy for people to sort of slip through the cracks and end up not coping when they're then in their adult life. So any sort of preparation and help for that is really good for them.